Hi, my name is Mandy Graham and I am your volunteer coordinator. I hope you enjoy this video that you are about to watch, and if you have any further questions afterwards, you can ask any staff member and you can also shoot me an email at any time.
This organization has been around for over 60 years. It started as a small organization doing rescue in the community and has evolved over the last 60 years to be what it is today, which is a limited admission adoption center.
As for our history of our organization, the Humane Society started way back in 1959, which is probably before all of you guys were born. I wasn't even born then, so it's been a long time ago. But there were a few little old ladies who were sitting out on a front porch, sipping their iced tea, and the story goes that they saw a stray dog in the yard, a sickly stray dog, and nobody knew what to do with it. Back then, there were no shelters, there was no animal control, and there supposedly was a huge stray problem, a lot of sick animals that didn't have anywhere to go, stray animals. So these two little old ladies were sitting out on their front porch in Belleville, sipping their iced tea. A stray dog comes into the yard, nobody knows what to do with it, so they took it upon themselves to do a grassroots organization, and they started to take in animals as like a foster program in their homes, and they put an ad, I believe in the News Democrat, saying, would anybody like to help us help the strays of Belleville? They got two people that replied, and one of them was named Inez Uphoff, who was this little school teacher in Belleville. She had no children, she and her husband loved animals. And the other gentleman, I don't recall his name, but his daughter wound up being the president of the Humane Society for very many years, Carol Lesko. So the story she gave me is they would stand on street corners with tin cans begging for money. And they held garage sales and bake sales and anything they could do. Now fast forward many, many years, we have still been known to beg on street corners, but we also have wonderful events that we hold as fundraisers, which if you volunteer for us very long, we will have you help us out with these.
So the Belleville Area Humane Society is 100% donor funded, and we rely solely on the donations of our community members to help keep us running.
So Animal Control is a government agency. We're right across the street from St. Louis County Animal Control, and we work really closely with them. But because they're a government agency, like they're really the ones who are going to take the stray animals, and they're going to take a lot of, like if there's an abuse case, like so for example, you know, we get a lot of phone calls here saying my neighbor isn't taking care of their dog, or this person left their dog out in the cold, and that's not something that we can handle here. So what we're doing is we're taking care of these animals while they find their forever home. But what animals can doing is taking care of those animals before they go to rescues. So once they get through a 7-day stray hold, if it's a stray animal, once it gets through that 7-day stray hold at Animal Control, that's when other rescues like ourselves can go in and then take those animals and work to find them homes.
We're going to show you the facility and how we use it. This right here is the house. We just call it the house. It's where management has their offices, where we have meetings with staff and other professionals, where accounting has their office. It's also where our photo studio is, where we take pictures of the animals for special occasions and everyday website content, that sort of stuff. We also have a veterinary area with a table and oxygen and all that good stuff for vets to come in and do surgeries and spay neuters and that sort of thing.
Wait, this is the cat house. We have tall towers. They're like kitty condos where they have several levels of space to jump around and move around more than just the one level cages they had before. We also have 2 roaming enclosures. We fit anywhere from 3 to 4 cats in each enclosure, so they're out stretching their legs, playing, sniffing other cats, so they have room to run around and do more things that aren't confined to a small space like a kennel like it used to be. But even the towers have a lot more room to stretch their legs, and it's really great. Over here is our monster. It's our storage shed where we keep all of the food and treats donated by Purina. I've worked here about 1.5 years, and it's always been called the Monster. I think it's been called the Monster for several years, obviously because it's big. I don't know who started it though, but anytime we need litter or food out of there, we say, can you go grab this from the Monster? So that's what that is. Under our carport over here next to the main building behind the intake area, we have intake kennels. Once we're cleaning the kennels in the morning for the intake dogs, we take the dogs out of the inside kennels, walk them down the road along the grass to let them go to the bathroom, because their kennels don't go outside like the other dogs do, because they're more confined, because we're watching them for anything medically wrong or behaviorally while in there. And once we're done walking them, but instead of putting them back in their inside kennels, because we have to clean those, we put them in the outside kennels over there while we're cleaning. And once we're finished cleaning the inside, they're hanging out in there. We bring them from the outside kennels back to the inside kennels where it's clean. Then we take another turn and clean the outside kennels where they just were for the next day, when we put other intake dogs out there so they're not spreading any sickness or anything like that.
This is our intake. This is where the dogs are quarantined for 7 days. We have 2 new guys back here right now. And then back here is the room we would intake the animals with our scale and our medicines and everything else. And we also have a tub where we always bathe the dogs, not cats usually because they don't bathe very easily. And here is our cat room where the new cats are quarantined. And we also have a microscope over here where we can do fecal float exams or blood checks for the heartworm positive dogs. And this is what different things look like on the microscope.
After those 7 days, they move into an assessment period where we look at their behavior, we look at their personality, we dog test them, things like that, so we can better match them with an adopted family. And then after those 7 days, they will move to the adoption floor.
We have 2 sides to our kennel. We have an A side and a B side. The A side is our general population. You'll walk them, you'll get to know them. The B side of our kennel, that's where they go right when they first get out of intake. Think of B as behavior. I mean, that's how I remember it. But that's where we they're just out of intake. We really don't know their personalities 1000% yet. They're getting used to us, we're getting used to them. We walk them just like we'd walk A side. And that's another thing. Volunteers will get to know those dogs. You guys are the ones that'll be walking them. So we love your feedback. We want you to tell us what you think about their personality, what we could work on with them, where their delightful personality points that are selling points. And you can also talk to the public too. You might know things we don't know because you spend time with them.
This is one whiteboard that we use. We call this our trait board. We have another whiteboard over here. A side is over there, B side is over here. This is where people would write the dogs that they walk, so we know who's being walked at what time.
This is our food room. We keep all of our food that we feed in the morning and at night in here. We have treats and peanut butter for Kongs over here. This is our food we get from Purina. We do our laundry in here, fold our towels and our comforters to get ready for cleaning or putting down blankets at night for the dogs and the cats. So keep all that organized in here as best we can. Here's one of our yards. This is where dogs can go out for playtime that are on this side of the kennels.
All right, guys. Right now we're standing in the lobby. This is where adopters and customers come in. This is the first thing that they see. Right here is our Pet of the Month board. Every month we choose a dog and a cat and feature them here. This is our kitty corner. This is where we post different things from our junior volunteer program. Just display, or we also have kids color pictures. This is our visitation room. This is where volunteers bring animals to socialize. We also show adopters different animals in this room.
This area, it's our volunteer station. Thank you to our volunteers. You would sign in here when you first come in. We have a schedule. One of the things that we always need help with is cleaning. I don't know how you feel about cleaning, but you can come in at 8:30 in the morning and help us clean kennels, clean anywhere you want to clean. But we ask you to sign our schedule if you do that.
This is our desk area. This is where we do paperwork, answer phone calls, talk to people over the desk. So our computers are over there, our applications, we process them back here, check and see what the application looks like, if they own or rent their home, if they have any other pets that need to meet, we check everything before they would do an adoption. Back here is our volunteer room, desks for volunteers to do paperwork. They organize our closets every once in a while to get our adoption bags with food and treats and toys and information to go home with the adopter and the new pet. And here's our break room. We have a refrigerator in here, volunteers can use it. This is where we eat during our breaks and times. We have lockers for our employees, and volunteers are welcome to use it as well. We have our board up here. Normally we have our schedule on it. Last room, this is our adoption counselor room. We will do adoptions in here. We have the computer over here where we will do the adoptions. We put in the information into the database, print off their contract. We do a pretty legal and formal contract with them so they know that they are responsible for the animal. We are not responsible for the animal once it's adopted and leaves here. They know that they need to care for it and feed it, and if they ever can't care for it, they need to bring it back here so we can get it adopted out again. So we go over the whole thing. It takes anywhere from 15-20 minutes to 45 minutes, an hour, depending on what they need to know about the animal, what if they have questions about the application and the adoption contract. We go over everything so they're clear with everything by the time they go home. Oftentimes we'll have the animal they're adopted in here too, so if they have any questions, they can ask then, and we can kind of show them the animal's personality more, make sure they're comfortable with adopting before doing the official paperwork. But this is our room now. So
Hi again. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just remember that if you are wanting to sign up for a specific shift like cleaning, that is from 8:30 to 11. If you're going to sign up for that, you're going to sign up for it on the volunteer desk. If you're just interested in socialization or playing with the cats, you can come in to do that at any time. I would like to thank you again for wanting to volunteer here because you are much needed here.